Hi, this is Jen from Windrose Fiber Studio. Today we're going to be working on part 3 of the mini mukluk pattern. As you can see, I have finished my squares. We're going to do one leg at a time on part 3. So to do the first leg, you're going to need one of your squares that has 4 triangles. Then you need your square with 2 triangles, and then one with no triangles. The first thing we're going to do is attach the square with no triangles to the one with 4 triangles. We are going to be doing the crocheting on the wrong side, or the back. When we join these together, it'll form a ridge, and we want that ridge to be on the back side, and I'll show you that when we get to that point. Because we left these nice handy little butterflies, we won't even need to have our skein of yarn with us today. This will be our working yarn. If you didn't make butterflies, you can just work from your yarn ball. That's fine too. The very first thing we're going to do is attach one side of the square without triangles to one edge of a triangle. We're going to do the work on the wrong side, and this is where we're going to be sewing them together. If you remember, when we made these triangles, we started off by doing 2 single crochets in the joining stitch, which is basically a single crochet increase. When we join our square to our triangle, we need to mirror that just as before. We're going to join our work to the stitch just left of the center stitch of any corner on the square without any triangles, and then we're going to join it on the end of the triangle where we have our butterfly or our working yarn. And we have to eyeball our stitch placement on the triangle. Here we have our hook inserted through the stitch just to the left of the corner of our square, and also I've inserted the hook at one edge of the triangle just to the left of the point where I have the working yarn. I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through, and that's going to be my join. Notice I didn't start with a slip knot on the hook. I just started with a join right there. And the first thing we're going to do is do a single crochet in that same stitch. Okay, now here's how we work the increase over the side of the triangle. We're going to go back into that same stitch. Remember, we started off with 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I'm going to put my hook in the same place of the square, but I'm going to move to the next stitch to the left on the edge of my triangle and work a single crochet. Now I'm going to work 8 across and have room for 2 stitches left at the edge of this triangle. So I'm going to work 8 stitches across. When I go through the triangle, I like to go underneath at least 2 pieces of yarn just to make sure it's nice and secure. I just finished my 8th stitch, and now I'm going to be working 2 single crochets into this last stitch on this side of the unworked square. And because I need for it to be an increase on the square, I'm going to work the first one, and then I'm going to go back into that same stitch, and then I'm going to move a little to the left and go into that last spot on the side of my triangle. When you get to the end of the row, go ahead and join the unworked corner stitches of both squares together with a single crochet. You're going to go into the very next stitch and then go into the unworked corner stitch of the other square and just single crochet. Now you can finish off this yarn. I'm just going to pull the tail end through. Let's just take a look at what we've done. So you can see we have a nice row of single crochets. We have 2 in each end, just like we did before when we were joining the triangles, and then we have 8 across. If I lay it flat, you can see that it creates a little ridge joining the 2 pieces together, but it's on the wrong side. On the right side, it's a nice smooth join. Now we're going to be joining this edge to this edge. Once again, we're just going to flip it over. I'm going to move this unworked yarn out of my way. I'm going to be using this as my working yarn. Now it really doesn't matter if you join with the triangle facing you or with the square facing you, because I'm using my butterflies. This time when I join, I'm going to be joining with the triangle side facing me. So to try to simplify this, just remember that it's 12 single crochets across. You're going to be working those 12 single crochets evenly across the side of the blue triangle, or of whatever color triangle yours might be. And on the square, the first two and the last two stitches will be worked into the same stitch on the square, and then 8 across. So you're increasing on the square, but you're working an even row of single crochets on the triangle. When I come to the end of this row, I'm going to work a single crochet into the corner stitches just like before. And then I can pull this tail end through. Now here's the back of the piece. You can see there are ridges from where the triangle was joined. Once again, that's what we want on the back side, or on the wrong side of our mini mucklucks. Now I'm going to take the tail ends and I'm just going to tie a square knot. Just to make sure it's nice and secure. We do not want our mucklucks to fall apart. And then you can either do it now or you can do it as finishing work. You'll need to trim these and weave in the ends. And then if we look at the right side of our piece, by single crocheting with both tail ends into the corner stitches, we have a nice solid join where the corners meet. Here's the front side of our piece now. We have two sides of the unworked square joined to our square that had 4 triangles. Now what we're going to do is join the last 2 sides to these 2 sides. I'm going to fold my square over and line it up with the other square. Now I need to join these 2 sides to these 2 sides, right here and right here. I'm going to fold this one down and this one up. If you want to pin these 2 sides so you don't get confused about which sides are being sewn together, that's a great thing to do. Here's how our piece looks after we've attached the square with 4 triangles to the square with no triangles. Now we need to attach the triangle with 2 squares. The triangle with 2 squares is going to be the one that rests on top of your foot. So this edge of this triangle is going to attach to this edge of this triangle, and this one will attach to this one. So I'll turn this one over. I'll turn this one inside out. I'm going to start at this edge, sew these 2 together just by working 12 single crochets evenly across. Then I'm going to work a single crochet into the 2 corner stitches to join them together, and then I'm going to work 12 single crochets evenly across these 2 triangles. Okay, I've just turned my work right side out. Here's the first 2 we joined. Here's the square with 2 triangles that we just joined. Here it is at a side angle. Here are the seams we just sewed, or we just single crocheted. This is the part that'll go, your ankle will be right about here. This will go right over your calf, and this will go over the top of your foot. So the only thing left now is to make the sole and to do the top edging.